All right, so chapter 7 is about the reactivation loop. That's basically how business owners or gym owners are leaving money on the table. You know, you always want to keep your members coming back to you, keep them active within the loop of your ecosystem because this is going to be a major part of your circular economy too. So you don't want to be the gym owner that's always spending your resources trying to chase after strangers, bring in new people by running promotions, discounts, looking for attentions, while you spend $1,000 waiting to build up a database, and then you end up being ignored and forgotten. And so you want to be the gym that's able to convince somebody to become a part of your gym and actually be able to retarget and reactivate their interest within your gym so that they stay a member with you and return all the time. So one of the major reasons is that people get dissatisfied with their gym membership or with any type of business in general is their life change, schedules change, jobs change, their families grow. Sometimes they lose people in the family. Motivations disappear, priorities shift, and the gym wasn't the problem; it was the timing. And the distinction as a business owner, if you realizing that and knowing that is very critical because most business treat inactive customers as lost customers, but in a closed loop ecosystem, inactive customers has to be they're just dormant. They're not lost. It's a difference between a lost customer and a dormant customer. A dormant applies potential, and then with the reactivation loop, it's designed to unlock potential. A traditional gym sees a cancellation and move on, but with a closed system, you see a future opportunity because the truth is simple. A former member is easier to reactivate, become interested in the business than a stranger because trust already exists, awareness already exists, experience already exists between you and that person. The business, you don't have to explain to a new person about who you are and what you do because the relationship has already began. You just got to reactivate that person's interest. So that's where the leverage come into play. And reactivating a member is only cost a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to get a new member. And so the database, you never want your database to become a graveyard. You don't want it to be a whole bunch of names, phone numbers, emails, and years of relationships sitting untouched. You always want to keep that person engaged and reactivated back in your system. So the first principle is segmentation. So you want to break down, like I was speaking of earlier, how many members are active, how many were left a month ago, how many stopped coming 3 years ago, and how many never started, how many love the gym. Try to create a segmentation category to figure out who's where and in what category and how you're going to use AI to reach out to those people. Because as an ecosystem, you got to understand the differences between where people are at in each stage of their engagement or the activity with you. And then the second principle is the timing. Mostly, you don't want to just reactivate or re-engage that member from a random perspective. You want to choose things strategically. You want to choose moments where people are actually susceptible or people motivation may increase, like around New Year's, getting ready for the summer, post-holiday period, personal milestones. So you see somebody that may got a new marriage or they may just graduated or something. Ask them or try to reactivate them to get them back interested in your program. Then local fitness challenges or either major gym updates. Say you upgraded something in the gym, that could be a psychological reopening to make somebody that was a part of your gym to want to come back and reconsider fitness. And then the third principle is restoration. So with restoration, you want people to feel like, okay, then it's actually credible or it's actually worth my time to want to go back and involve myself with that business again. So you want a weak message would say something like come back and save 20%. Like you don't want to do something like that. Just offer like a cheap discount. You want to create something that's going to spark their identity and make them feel like they're part, a member of what you got going on. So a strong message would say you making incredible progress. We love to help you continue your journey. So first you appealing to that person's ego by telling them they're making a progress, and then you tell them that you want to help with their journey. So you giving them a full detail of what it is that you're trying to do, and convey to them, and while also giving them an action, well not action, but you're also giving them details as to what is it you're trying to follow up on. You're trying to follow up on helping them with their journey. letting them know that you haven't forgot about that person. So identity is far more powerful than was just striking random people. And then people rarely become excited about just regular discounts. They become excited about becoming the person they once believed that they could become. So, and then with a reactivation loop, that's going to reconnect members back to that version of themselves. And so, second appeals to the identity, and identity, like I said, that's the most important part. And then the first, you want to appeal to the actual need for them to come back and to come and start targeting them around seasons where they're actually people are more psychologically open to want to start something new or to want to look back at something. You want them become excited about becoming the person that they once believed in. You want the reactivation loop is used targeting them psychologically to reconnect with their why, with their beginning why of who they want to be. So it reminds them of who they becoming, what they've accomplished, and what they're capable of achieving. It's going to create momentum, and then that momentum is going to drive more action to then want to be back in your company. And then the fourth principle is reducing friction. And so with friction, you don't want to make it hard for them to want to come back. You don't want to make that process difficult. You want an ecosystem that's going to eliminate all them different obstacles. So you want a simplified enrollment process, a fast reactivation process, and you want a personalized restart plans, beginner-friendly reentry program, and then accountability for that member. Because returning should feel easy. Like it shouldn't feel like you're going through hurdles to try to return. Because every barrier is going to decrease the conversion probability. And a closed loop ecosystem assumes that motivation is fragile. So you don't want to have any type of barriers that's in place. So the path must be simple, straightforward. And then you want to focus on celebration. Don't try to judge them or try to criticize them for straying away or not coming to your business or staying with your business when they first started. You want to stay away from all kind of criticism, all kind of guilt, or quit asking them questions about why they left. Just have open arms and say, "Oh, I'm glad you back," and it should feel like they coming back home. It should feel opposite, not like a standing trial. So don't never ask them like where they been or try to like make them explain themselves of why they left in the first place. So where AI can come into place is AI can help create a reactivation loop by identifying inactive members, categorizing former customers, creating personalized outreach recommendation offers, generate follow-up sequences, and then predict reactivation's likelihood. So this system is you create an AI system that's gonna help to continuously monitor dormant opportunities so that way no relationship is forgotten. No opportunity disappears simply because the time has passed. This only thing that disappears is when you just ghost that person all together, and then you never reach back out to them to a point where it's like 2 or 3 years out. Now you maybe probably have lost that person, but you don't ever want to wait that long. You want to turn this reactivation process into an ongoing business process rather than just going out and doing an occasional marketing campaign or constant marketing to new people. And so that way the gym can develop a second revenue engine. Because the first engine is going to be acquisition. So your first engine is going out getting brand new people. But the second is reactivating, re-engaging people who already once were active in your business. And then they stop being as active. And then you want to get them back engaged with what you got going on again. So in a closed loop ecosystem possess both. And so that's going to create a lot of resilience, and then whereas acquisition is a little bit slower, but reactivation you want to stay in place because you want the members that you got to remain in that business. So like I said, advertising become very expensive when you're trying to acquire new people. So you want the reactivation aspect to remain strong because the market is going to be super competitive, and then you want an ecosystem that has its own internal source of growth. Like I said, you want a circle whereas you got people that's already in your business to stay there, and then possibly bring people that they know into the business into the gym with them. So that way you don't have to keep spending, trying to acquire, because it's not a take and waste ecosystem. This is a keep and recycle ecosystem. So growth, like I said, growth no longer depends on external inputs. It depends on emerging and growing relationships that already exist. So it's just some more. It's going over it. They go to a template for chapter 7. So you wanna create the former member database. You want the name, they last visit. It could possibly get a reason why they left if they wrote that down, but don't pressure it. 'Cause like I said, you don't never want to turn them away or make it hard for them to come back and their reactivation status. So reactivation campaign worksheet. You want the name, how many days they've been inactive. Create an offer for each member. Don't just create a generic offer for each member. Use AI to create a specific offer for each member. Find out what their start date was when they first signed up with you, and the end date is when they quit responding or walked away from your business. You saw them just stop all cold turkey, and then figure out what the results is after you send that. Use AI to send out an offer to those people. Write down what the results were, and so a win back tracker. Okay, you write the member, write down when you contacted them, write down their response, write down when they rejoin, if they rejoin, if they didn't rejoin, create a follow up and write down what follow up that you need to create for that member to rejoin. And so for the master dashboard, closed ecosystem dashboard, you want to have relationship metrics, total active members, accountability metrics. Are they green, meaning that they're involved with just about every program y'all got? Are they yellow, mediocre? Are they red, just don't involve themselves at all? Community metrics, challenge participants, how many are in challenges? How many posts that you're making from a content standpoint? What's your retention rate? How many of your former members are contacted? How many of your former members have rejoined? And how much revenue was recovered? So you want to go over all of these metrics for your whole closed ecosystem at the end once you reactivate and you get people re-interested in your gym as part of your closed ecosystem. So this is it for chapter 7. Next video, I'm going to go over how I'm going to put everything together for us, putting it on the website and selling it, and then and that'll be it.